Imagine being told you need to pay 138,000 Rand every year, not to Eskom, not to SARS, but to save the environment. And if you can't pay, you risk losing your property. That's not a joke. That's what's happening right now in Mossel Bay, where pensioners and widows who bought small holdings decades ago are being hit with biodiversity offset scheme that looks less like conservation and more like expropriation with a green ribbon. Ladies and gentlemen, just a quick reminder, if you want to help me uncover the truth behind land grabs in South Africa, you need to go to the Back a Buddy campaign and donate at least 50 Rand. If 4,000 people donated 50 Rand, we would hit our budget goal and we could produce the next 2 documentaries. If you haven't yet, please go check out Stolen Ground 1. It is a very heartbreaking story, a very tragic story, but also a very interesting story. Every cent counts, and with your help, we can uncover the truth behind land grabs in South Africa. Links to all the above can be found in the description or pinned comment, and if you prefer EFT, those EFT details are also in the description. You can find out more information as well at stolenground.co.za. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Newsflash. I'm your host, Emilio. Thanks for tuning in. This story begins with one of the residents who told me she went back through her old municipal accounts, and here's what she found. Over just a decade, her rates nearly tripled, from under 500 Rand a month in 2012 to almost 1,200 Rand today. And now, on top of those increases, residents are being hit with something far worse: biodiversity levies of up to 138,000 Rand a year. Here's the zoning certificate today. It says residential. Now compare it with this public notice from the Mossel Bay Advertiser on the 22nd of August 2025. It still says the property is agricultural. So which is it? Residential or agriculture? And this isn't new. In 2017, the municipality sent out a letter saying earth numbers were being updated, but admitted the financial system wouldn't update automatically, meaning some residents got rate hikes and others didn't. That's not transparency, that's chaos. And here's where the mask kinda comes off. The official biodiversity offset plan lays out annual levies from 30k up to 138k per earth, payable forever. And if you want to develop your land, you're hit with one offset charge as high as 3.5 million Rand. Even worse, parts of your land must be rezoned into conservation areas and then transferred into a master HOI, or Homeowners Association. The HOA isn't just a body corporate, it becomes the tax collector, the credit provider for biodiversity offsets. So let's be clear, this isn't about nature, it's about stripping property rights and outsourcing the costs to homeowners who never signed up for this.
Where have I heard that before?
Now here's where it gets chilling. According to the Expropriation Act, governments can expropriate land in the public interest, including for conservation. Normally, that requires a formal notice of intent, but what Mossel Bay has done here looks suspiciously similar. They didn't send out a legal expropriation notice. They sent out planning documents that force rezoning, force transfers, and impose impossible levies. And here's the cruel part. If residents can't afford these new levies, they'll be forced to sell. But who's going to buy land tied up with 138,000 Rand in a year levies? Ordinary buyers won't touch it, which means the price collapses. And that's when wealthy developers swoop in, pick it up for next to nothing, and consolidate the land. This isn't just expropriation by stealth, it's dispossession by design. And here's the part that really stings. Mossel Bay is DA run. It's not ANC pulling the strings here. It's happening under a DA municipality and a DA province. Disappointing, because if the DA is supposed to stand for good governance and property rights, so what the hell are they doing pushing through a scheme that bleeds pensioners and homeowners dry? And here's my take. Conservation matters, but when you hit pensioners with 138,000 Rand a year in levies to save the plants, that's not conservation, that's extortion. If government cared, they'd fund conservation through the taxes they already collect. Instead, they outsource it to consultants, bury it in 400 pages of reports, and force ordinary South Africans to pay for it. Or they lose their land.
This is dictatorship at the highest.
This isn't about biodiversity. It's about power, money, and control. And you can still fight back. The public participation process closes on the 22nd of September 2025. Residents and anyone who cares about property rights can submit objections to the environmental practitioner. I'll put all the details in the description, because if this goes through, Mossel Bay will set a precedent for conservation-based dispossession across South Africa. When conservation becomes expropriation by stealth, that's not green, that's rotten. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to help me uncover the truth behind land grabs in South Africa. Head on over to that Back a Buddy campaign, link in the description or pinned comment if you prefer EFT. Those details are also in the pinned comment and description. Let's uncover the truth behind land grabs in South Africa. More details can be found on stolenground.co.za, and don't forget to leave a comment. What do you think about this? Are you appalled by what's happening in Mossel Bay? And no matter which platform you're watching this episode on, please drop a like, a follow, or subscribe. I got more content coming your way. And with all that being said, thanks for watching. Your Newsflash is in.
How would you say your mental focus is?
Oh, it's focused. I haven't, look, I have trouble even saying to myself, my own head, the number of years. I no more think of myself as being as old as I am than fly. I mean, it's just not, I haven't observed anything in terms of, there's not things I don't do now that I did before.